Hello everyone, and welcome back to Read Aloud with Miss Cope. Today is Friday and it's May 22nd and it is almost the weekend. Congratulations. I know a lot of you have plans to get outside this weekend and enjoy the sunshine, so I hope you get to do that. But for now, we are reading It Ain't So Awful Falafel by Firuze Dumas. The chapter we left off on is called Name Change and Game Change. It's another sunny Saturday morning in Newport Beach, and my mom and dad and I turn on the TV to watch the news. The first report is about Iran, of course. Khamenei has announced that the country is now called the Islamic Republic of Iran. The news keeps showing images of him waving to the adoring masses. My dad turns off the TV and says, "You know, Zomorod, I watched Iranians from all backgrounds march in the streets against the Shah, hoping for honest government, democracy, and freedom of speech. Communist groups, student activists, human rights supporters, and men and women who were just tired of the Shah's corruption. They were all there too." Sure, Khamenei played a key role in the revolution, but I do not expect him to end up as the new leader of Iran. I hope this is going to be better, but something tells me it won't. It doesn't seem like we're moving closer to a democracy. I don't like to hear my dad saying this. Maybe it's because a part of me knows it's true too. I glance at my mom, who is sitting quietly, looking worried. On Sunday, I go to Caroline's again for taco night. When I walk in the door, the heavenly smell of spices and onions greets me like an old friend. This time, I do not have any questions about taco shells. Instead, the Williamses have all the questions. "So what does it feel like to have your country change its name?" asked Matt as soon as we sit down to the table. "It worries my dad," I say. "He doesn't feel like we're getting closer to a democracy. And what's up with the Islamic part?" "That sounds like more than just a name change," Matt says, helping himself to the grated cheese. Up to now, I've been really good at explaining Iranian things to Americans. When someone asks me what a kebab is, I tell them it's like a hamburger in a different shape, and instead of a bun, there's rice. Easy, but what happens now in Iran is really hard to explain. Plus, things keep changing so fast. People in Iran are mostly Muslim, but the government was not religious when I lived there. I begin slowly, but Matt interrupts me. "Yeah, but you don't seem very religious." "Let her eat," Mrs. Williams says gently, biting into her taco. "Being Muslim means different things to different people," I say. "My family doesn't do anything officially religious. My dad says religion is kindness, and that's what everyone should practice." "It's the same thing with us," Mrs. Williams said. "We're Christian, but we don't go to church every Sunday, but we eat chocolate every Easter," Matt chimes in, adding more hot sauce. I laughed and wonder if maybe I shouldn't have. "As I was saying before I was interrupted," Mrs. Williams continued, giving Matt a stern look. "Everyone defines religion differently, but I agree with your father. Bottom line, it's about kindness. We buy chocolate eggs too, but the day after Christmas, when they're half price, I offer." The Williamses all laugh. "So, is every single person in Iran a Muslim now?" Carolyn asked in between bites. "Most are, but no. Did you know that there are more Jews in Iran than there are in any other country in the Middle East outside of Israel? Rachel's dad told me that." "Really?" Carolyn sounds surprised. "Yes, and there are Christians, Baha'is, and Zoroastrians too," I said. "What are those last two?" Carolyn asked. "I've never heard of them. Either have I." Baha'is are known for being a peaceful, gentle religious group, and Zoroastrianism was Iran's religion before the Arabs invaded in the 7th century and brought Islam with them, I explained. "Wow, it makes you realize how young the U.S. is compared to Iran," Mrs. Williams comments. "We just celebrated the bicentennial or 200th birthday, and here we are talking about Iran being invaded in the 7th century. That's 1,300 years ago," she exclaims. "Would anyone like more guacamole?" "Yes, please. I've discovered I love guacamole." Mr. Williams, who has been listening quietly to the conversation, finally speaks up. What's most worrying about the new government in Iran is that they're killing the people who worked with the Shah. They're trying to ensure that there won't be another revolution. Killing people doesn't seem like something a religious government would do, Matt observes. I know. I shake my head and look down at my plate, suddenly saddened by what is happening to my country. In America, if a Republican wins an election, he doesn't get to kill the Democrats, Matt adds, although I'm sure some of them would like that option. I bet one of them would, Mr. Williams agrees with a chuckle. On Monday, Miss D'Angelo pulls me aside after class. Cindy, can I tell you something? Sure, I say cautiously. Did I do something wrong? Is your family going back to Iran? She asked. Oh, my father is here on an assignment, so when the project ends, yes, we'll be going back. But will you be safe? I think about this for a moment. Watching the events on TV and being able to turn off the news and go back to my own life makes it feel like they have nothing to do with me. But suddenly I realize that it is about me and about every other Iranian whose life will never be the same. Well, we aren't rich. My dad's an engineer and he has nothing to do with the Shah. That's good. But what about the headscarf? What's it called? Will you have to wear that? She asked. All women and girls have to now. I just can't imagine that, she says. I mean, look at you. You're wearing shorts, sandals, and a t-shirt. You are so all-American, and I know you and Carolyn are in Girl Scouts. I guess I just can't see you in Iran with all the rules about what girls can and can't do. I can't see myself there either. This is the first time I've really thought about going back and what it might mean for me. I feel shaky and my heart speeds up. I do not want to wear a headscarf. I'll be afraid every time I leave my house. All the meanness towards girls, that's no religion. I mumble something about getting to my next class on time and walk down the hall in a daze, trying to picture myself and my female relatives all covered up with hijab. I think of my cousin Fariba, famous in my family for her long, thick hair and for spending an hour each day with rollers and a can of hairspray so it looks just right. What is she going to do now? Next chapter. Are you there, Allah? It's me, Zomorod. The Khamenei has declared that alcohol, nightclubs, and gambling are now illegal. My parents do not drink, go to nightclubs, or gamble, but still my dad says that it's not the government's job to tell people what they can and can't do with their private lives. It's a bad sign, he keeps saying. The government has also declared that kids have to pray in school and all the music on the radio and television is banned. People are actually being arrested for listening to Western music in their own homes. So disco is a crime. At the same time that Western music is being banned in Iran, the 6th grade student government at Lincoln Junior High is busy planning the end of the year dance. All 6th graders voted on the theme Aloha Friends 1. This is going to be my first dance and I'm super excited. Aloha means both hello and goodbye in Hawaiian, Carolyn tells me. Just like shalom, I say knowingly. Carolyn, Rachel, Howie, and I decide to go to the dance together. We meet at Rachel's and all 3 of them are wearing puka shells, necklaces, and look very tropical. I wish I had a necklace like that. Rachel's mom also gives us leis made of plastic flowers. Mine looks particularly nice against my yellow sundress with the matching yellow corduroy vest. Rachel's mom says so too as she takes our picture. We all pile into their station wagon trying to hide our excitement, but we can't. As soon as we arrive to Lincoln, I start to feel nervous. I've never danced with a boy before. It doesn't seem like a big deal an hour ago, but now it does. There's something about seeing the other kids that makes me really anxious. As we walk to the gym, I notice the other 6th grade girls who are all dressed up. Some of them are wearing makeup and high heels. How are they going to dance in high heels? The gym is decorated with inflatable palm trees and a slightly leaning papier-mâché volcano that spews steam. The 4 of us quickly take places against the back wall. The DJ plays 3 or 4 fast songs, then a slow one. Couples start to form on the dance floor. We scan the remaining boys and try not to look too interested. I wish we didn't have to wait for a boy to ask us to dance, but that's how it is. We look like Mount Rushmore, says Rachel. I hope not, I say. Those guys on Mount Rushmore never dance. After 8 more fast songs and 2 more slow ones, Carolyn suggests we stand somewhere else. The steam from the volcano is making it hard for guys to see us, she yells over the music. We move next to the snack hut, which has a sign that says Luau Party, spelled out in seashells. There's a table full of popcorn and cotton candy inside. I don't want to eat anything yet. I brushed my teeth before I left the house. I begin to notice that the same girls are asked to dance over and over again, while the rest of us are about as popular as the inflatable palm trees. Brock has been dancing the whole time. He's a really good dancer. When he flips his hair in between moves, it's not annoying at all. He's a jerk, but I wish he would ask me to dance. I keep watching him, pretending that I'm looking at something else. I would die if he could see me looking at him. I hate this, I tell Rachel. What? She asks. I hate this, I yell. She points to her ears and shakes her head. We stand, shifting our weight from one leg to the other. They really should have chairs at these events. It seems like all the girls with high heels are dancing, while the rest of us, like members of some sensible shoe club, are just watching. All of a sudden, I hear the unmistakable opening to Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive. Dear God, please have a boy. A boy asked me to dance. I've given up trying to look cool and have a big smile on my face that I hope says, ask me. Not only have I practiced dancing to this song many times, but I know all the words. A few lines in, I know this entire dance is a lost cause. Why do they call it a dance? They should call it a stand, because that's all we're doing. I don't think I will survive this, I say to Carolyn. Keep smiling, Carolyn said. There's still hope. There are like 10 more verses left. And look, Freddie Arnold is walking towards you. I smile extra hard at Freddie Arnold, who is indeed walking towards me. We are now face to face. Excuse me, he says, reaching for a bag of popcorn behind me. I feel like an idiot standing in front of the snack hut. The DJ announces that he will be taking a break. I will never go to another dance. Rachel is still yelling, even though the music has stopped. Note on the bottom. Freddie Arnold, you missed out on some awesome dance moves. Now you will never see them. Too bad. If you lived in Iran, you wouldn't have to, I tell her. What? Never mind. There's a name for us, you know. Wallflowers, Carolyn says glumly. I usually like it when Carolyn teaches me new words, but not this time. If you are a wallflower at one dance, will you also be a wallflower at the next dance? Is it a permanent condition? I wonder. Did you see Brock? Carolyn asked me. Yeah, he's such a jerk. Totally. And he dances like one, she adds. I know. When the DJ starts playing music again, Howie and I decide we've had enough. We go outside to Shark Attack Snack Shack, which consists of 2 card tables filled with cookies and chips. 2 inflatable sharks are attached with duct tape to either sides of the table. Boys never ask me to dance. I'm too tall, Howie sighs. I just pray the Lord deliver me a tall husband one day. Don't we all, Howie? I don't know what to say. I've never heard an American friend talk about her future husband. I assume only Iranian girls thought about marriage. We stand next to a shark scooping onion dip with potato chips. In Iran, my aunt, Zorhe, finds husbands for all the girls because she knows everyone. Maybe the Lord works through your auntie, Howie says. I've never considered the Lord working through anyone. I always figure God is busy dealing with starvations and floods, I say. But I did pray one time to St. Anthony about a lost key, and one of our neighbors found it. That's right. There you go, she says, wiping potato chip crumbs off her dress. That's definitely the Lord's working through your neighbor. I think of Skip wearing bright plaid pants, walking his small bulldog every morning in the green belt. I always pictured someone working for the Lord to be wearing a loose white gown with a thick rope tied around his waist, followed by a goat or 2. But maybe I'm wrong. If you ever want an Iranian husband, I'm sure my Aunt Zorhe would find you one. I offer. I smile just thinking of Howie with an Iranian husband. I could marry an American because I love American food, but Howie doesn't even like feta cheese. One time I offered her a piece at lunch and she said no, but it looks interesting. I know what that means. How can you marry someone if you don't like his food? Thanks, says Howie, smiling back. That's very nice of you. You're welcome. And we both move on to the chocolate chip cookies. All right, we're going to leave it there. It's Zomorod's first dance. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next week. Have an amazing weekend. Toodles.